Nobody cuddles a mummy without me. I am the official mummy cuddler. Pip says she's the family forager.
What are we doing here?
Beats me.
You don't usually say that. You usually say, I don't know. Like you've never heard that question before.
Ask me again.
What are we doing here?
I don't know.
Why don't you know? We are in one of our favourite spots, aren't we?
Yeah.
Matley Woods in the New Forest, which we've been coming to for a
Long
year
time.
in Mo, or up to a year. And previously I've been here camping with the boys, and it feels like an ancient woodland of oak trees that is the perfect example of you don't have to own a house with a garden in order to have access to the most beautiful places. Nature, green.
Yeah. What was that quote? He has the largest collection of seashells
In the world. Which he keeps
on the beach.
Is that Shakespeare that said that? It was Shakespeare.
My mate Will.
Could have been. So yeah, it's a lovely place to come, and very pretty, and very good for the soul. Yeah.
And for digging.
We're having a nice little reminisce today about the fact we don't have a garage full of stuff anymore, and the implications of that, and how you feel about the possessions you've kept, what they mean to you, whether they are serving a purpose, whether they are comforting. Remembering to get rid of the old ones when you get new ones. And I suppose reflecting on whether we were hoarders or just organised, or just had a lot of stuff, or disorganised. It's all.
I don't think we had a hoarder mentality. I think we were exceptionally lazy. I don't think we... Well, first of all, we had a lot of space that allowed us just to be careless.
Yes, definitely.
And then, as I was saying earlier, I think the thing that I have learnt in the short space of time living in Mo is that you have to keep reviewing things. You can't be lazy about it.
No, you can't be lazy putting things away, but equally you do keep reviewing whether you need the things, don't you?
Yeah, on a daily basis you say, has this fallen out of the cupboard one too many times? Can I afford to let it go?
Or is it that the cupboard's got other things in that you could let go?
Correct.
But it's almost like the environment teaches you to work out whether you've got too much stuff. The other thing you mentioned, actually, just in passing, was the idea of having things visible, the need to have them visible. If you've got them visible, it's because you use them, and it reminds you need them. Once they get put away, they are almost forgotten at some level. And actually it makes me reflect on how we used to have our kitchen set up. We had our pans visible because we used them all the time. We had the plates visible all the time, and it became effortless for us to use them, wash up, put things away, get things out. That time was so efficient, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And even though we've got cupboards in Mo, it's almost like the things are on show. Oh dear, look at that.
God.
That's a bad sign.
That's a dying fly that's going to smell.
It could be. She's going to be very scented of heather. Then again,
not.
Maybe not.
Yeah, so there is not a tribe, what's the word? A community in Mexico.
Is it we're the Fakawi tribe?
No. There is a community in Mexico. They have ritual burnings of all their belongings. They literally build a fire in a village and burn everything.
It's all right unless you've got a lot of plastic. That's not very environmentally sound.
Well, you would hope that they don't.
No.
It's a nice idea though, and it's also a nice idea to kind of think, to limit your stuff to what you can carry.
Yes.
It's like going on holiday, isn't it? There's an immense satisfaction for me in having only hand luggage, because there's a poetry in it. But there's also something about knowing what you need, to have
Yes.
thought about it, not to be lazy and not plan.
Yeah, there's different ways of thinking of it, because some people love to take lots of different things, not wear the same stuff twice.
Of course, that's.
And
I'm
therefore
not,
you couldn't take that as hand luggage. They
no,
need
we know
more
people
stuff.
who've got enormous suitcases and love them,
Yes.
and that's perfectly fine for them. But for me, all I can see is just the anguish involved with carting luggage and lifting it and dragging it, and oh God, the anxiety.
I think I've often had multiple versions of things, because then I had the choice as to which to use in a different situation. So, I just mentioned sleeping bags earlier. I have tiny sleeping bags when I'm backpacking, and 2 just in case someone needs one. And I have then small sleeping bags for the summer, and then I have heavy winter sleeping bags, and then I have square sleeping bags, and then I've got a high-tech sleeping bag. And so I've always had this whole range of toys in my outdoor cupboard to suit different scenarios. And then same things repeated with tents and sleeping mats and awnings and cupboards, bikes, boats. It created an enormous amount of stuff. And the other thing I had was the same situation going on with bags. I've got a gym bag, one size. I've got running bags, I've got triathlon bags, I've got competition triathlon bags, I've got bags I take away for the weekend that are a bit casual, I've got posher bags, I've got small suitcases, large suitcases.
And a backpack which was framed.
Multiple backpacks, multiple water bottle holding sacks.
And you seem to acquire my grippy things.
I've got most of your bags, in addition to all of my bags. There must have been a good 20 plus bags. None of them worth an awful lot, but the point was, it was always about having bags for different situations and picking from them, and therefore you needed a lot of storage. And I'm sure now, what we'd worked out before we left was that actually I couldn't obviously keep all these bags, but really I should find a bag that could be used for many situations, and that's what I got, didn't I? So, and it's still not the only bag, but it is a much better way of doing it.
Yes.
But I think actually that's the pattern that I would rather adopt for most things, which is you really only need a place to sleep, and therefore you need a bed. And if it's going to be wet, you cover it to stop it getting wet. If it's going to be cold, you put something else on top. You just need the one. It's not quite as simple as that, but it's better to have our approach, which I think is more about layers and taking one thing that's multi-purpose and adding to it when situation changes.
Yeah, kind of tent mentality, which is we're learning,
That's right.
and you have to put a bit of distance between yourself and the thing to put it in perspective. If you stand too close to something, you only see the thing closest to you. If you stand from a distance, it's like going on holiday. You can always see the problems with your life more easily when you're on holiday, because you look back and you see it in its totality. World universe.
That's why it's kind of fun to be sitting here with a little bit of time passed in a place that we feel familiar, to be able to look at ourselves from a distance, or our past from a slight distance. That's
And to
quite
dare,
special.
to dare. Do you dare to go down to what you just need?
Yeah.
That's pretty scary.
Well, once you've got rid of all the stuff we didn't need, you're becoming much more careful about what we have still got and how much you need it. It's much easier to tell. haven't got all the other stuff to get in the way of not knowing.
I'm not perfect. I still have designs on having a portable tiny spiralizer.
Won't make the courgettes taste any better.
No, but they make them look pretty.
Yeah.